Yeah, what time was that one?
4.
Yeah, there ain't shit. Hairy and ugly.
That's actually the new name of the podcast, Hairy and Ugly.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah, the video version of that will probably be more...
yeah, it's paywall.
Yeah, that's going to be
paywalled
paywalled. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how deep we're trying to get right off the rip here, but it's the only thing on my mind.
Well, then we should definitely go with whatever that is.
Yeah, it's the only thing I've been... it's been a hot topic since we are now the TMZ of powerlifting and strength world. Everyone's fucking passing away.
Are you talking about Cedric McMillan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I think, like 4 within the last 6 months. Bodybuilders near or on the pro level or in the spotlight under the age of 45.
Yeah, he was 44. And he... Army background, you know.
I did hear, I did a little bit of research, although you guys know this podcast is quite up in the air. He had some heart issues over the last couple of years, and that's what held him out from competing.
Yeah, he had a mountain bike accident.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
separate.
And
then I don't think it was, confirmed, but assumed that it was probably a heart issue as well with the passing. And I just don't...
Yeah, he had a heart attack on a treadmill in a gym.
Oh, so it was confirmed.
Yeah.
All right. Because I looked...
I don't know. I read this on the literal TMZ, so I could be wrong on that. But,
TMZ talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know they did that. Like, Cedric McMillan's big, but he's not Arnold.
Well, he won an Arnold, though.
Yeah, no, he did, 100%. And he's been to the Olympia many times, 100%. But bodybuilding, yeah, I guess just to me, it's... I guess, first off, rest in peace. Prayers to his family and everybody else, but it's wild to me that TMZ even covers that.
Yeah.
Still, you know?
Yeah.
Like, although lifting is cool now, like, I just looked, C-Bum, the fool got 8 million followers on Instagram. What does Arnold even have? Like, 8 million?
I don't know.
Like, that's celebrity. There's A-list celebrities with less.
I think Arnold has 10, but I could be wrong.
That's crazy, right? 22. That's pretty good.
22. Okay.
That's pretty good. And it makes sense. But yeah, C-Bum's got like 7 mil plus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember in like 2012, they're like, the biggest Instagram profile is Kim Kardashian with 10 million.
Yeah.
In like 2012.
Yeah. And now...
C-Bum. Yeah, they're at hundreds of millions, right?
Yeah, probably so.
Which is also insane.
I try not to pay attention to the Kardashians. I don't keep up with them, as it were.
But I think... I didn't know TMZ covered it, but yeah. So I did a bunch of research right when I heard yesterday afternoonish, and it wasn't confirmed. But you assume a heart issue.
I've seen it twice now that it was on a treadmill. And
that sucks. What is going on with hearts? I don't know what Boston Lloyd's situation was, but he's younger than me.
Yeah,
he had to be 30, 29.
Yeah.
Because steroids have been around popularly since the 60s. They've been around before, but in recreational, or if you want to call bodybuilding a sport, which I don't want to dig into right now, they've been around.
Yeah.
What's going on that from 2017-ish, obviously we've had some people pass and people do, a little reckless with their usage. But 2017-ish to now, the numbers had to be 20-fold.
Yeah, maybe so. Not having researched it, I don't really know for sure, but yeah, it's a lot.
It's much more common to hear about.
It's much more common.
Anecdotally.
Yes, they're dropping like flies, sort of.
So is there a new compound guys are digging into? Is it wanting to get bigger quicker? This is a big topic I wanted to talk about, and I did cover quickly in humorous form on Barber Brigade's talk show. Like steroid culture... When we started making content together, which I looked, my very first video you filmed was, I think in March or May will be 10 years ago.
Oh, Lord.
Well, yeah, my fat face has been on YouTube that whole time. And our podcast now together for 8 years.
Yeah.
Steroid culture, you could literally like count in one hand how many people admitted to taking steroids on the internet. Yeah. And then if you did take steroids and lied about it, you were demonized.
Right.
Which I don't necessarily agree with either. But then there's kind of a middle ground where I felt like it was actually good. There was a neutral war where there was like untested powerlifting and then the USAPL, and they were both popular and kind of thriving, right? And that was obviously like the peak of powerlifting per se. 2014, 2017, the sports were growing, both parties, untested and tested. A lot of people were thriving, finding the sport, enjoying the sport. Bodybuilding was still cool and popular. Phil Heath was king. All these things were going on. And then the steroid thing was kind of like neutral, I feel like. People weren't demonizing. Some people were a little more open about it. Now, at least on TikTok, which is probably the most used social media in terms of hours watched, I'd imagine, no research there, but an insane amount of people are on it. There's kids, like, and I say kids because I'm old now, you know, early 20s, like talking about their trend cycle, like 30 days on trend, here's day 3, in like a promotional fashion. Which seems so fucking reckless.
Yeah,
like, there's such a fine line of like transparency, which I think is needed in the industry, and it will never happen, but it's needed very much in this industry, in any industry. I'm all about it. Versus like promotional, and there's so many people that are like have zero responsibility for their words and actions on the internet. And I know that's been said forever. Like, back in the day, you'd be punched for that, you know? Like, we need more of that. Like, I don't know about that far, but there needs to be some kind of check.
Yeah.
And there isn't. It's going wild. And I wonder if that plays a role in it. I wonder if there is a new compound, because I'm not, you know, Dr. Steroid. I'm middle ground.
I don't think there's anything new under the sun other than, you know, like there are more people taking DNP than used to.
Yeah, or insulin is newish.
But no, I remember somebody that we used to know sending his mom to get insulin at Costco for him.
Right.
So.
Well, and no, I think newish in terms of the 2000s, right? Like maybe Arnold and them were, because that's a whole argument too. When people, what do they call them? The monsters, not the bulk monsters, the muscle monsters. Muscle mommy's a term that I like that's going around now lately, but
I haven't seen that one. But yeah.
Muscle mommy's unrelated. That's just in my brains.
Yeah. Okay.
What do they call it? Mass monsters.
Mass monsters.
The mass monsters. A lot of people say HGH and insulin brought on that era of bodybuilding.
Yeah, they talk about like the steroid gut or the GH
which
gut
I don't even know if that's a thing or not.
I don't know if it is either, but boy, it's pretty obvious that midsections have gotten bigger.
Something's changed.
Yeah,
something's changed. And yeah, I don't know if that's insulin related or HGH. Either way, and I guess I've had this discussion with a couple buddies, and I do think, yeah, the 2000s brought a different era of steroids for sure. Because back in the day, it was some basic stuff. You're taking a little test, a little D-ball, and bada boom, bada shming. Not that I promote either of those. Like, not that those are like, yeah, man, you'll never have health problems taking those. Not saying that, but then you layer in 20 different compounds, and you want more and more.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Olympia's 25 now.
Yeah.
Right? So then you're like, all right, well, how do I catch up? I'm 26. And so you're just railing compounds all day. You're snorting trend for breakfast. I don't know if that's possible. And then, right? Like that can't be healthy.
No.
And then the amount, the dosage. I've heard that on TikTok too, where like, yeah, we're getting into it. I don't know. I don't even know how I feel. I feel like I'm promoting and I'm not. But like, you know, like a regular dose of test, whether it's TRT or a basic bodybuilder dose, you're taking 200 megs or something, where these guys are just straight on TikTok like, yeah, man, basic dose, 700 milligrams. I'm like, what? You're going to fucking, what are you doing? Like, there's no responsibility on your own half with your own body, let alone what you're promoting.
I think that a moment of insight here is that some things have like an immediate reaction. You know, the orals often have an immediate reaction. There's like a aggression and you know, pump, D-ball, whatever. You know, there's an immediate halo. It can make people scary. I don't care what anybody says.
I think all this stuff can.
Yeah.
And no one wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
So even to this day, like probably today on 1,000 fitness podcasts, they're talking about steroids and people dying.
Yeah.
And not a single one of them will mention how mentally crazy some of these people get.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have numbers, anecdotal numbers of friends and people I know saying their boyfriend or girlfriend turned into a different human when they went hard into bodybuilding or figure or whatever.
And like this is something you mentioned to me the other day that I really wish I knew more about, was that the longer that someone's on, the more
that's what
it
I hear
affects their cognition.
I've heard straight IQ, which they say IQ doesn't change. I've heard there's minimal studies that show it might decline.
It could be declining. Yeah. So I think that unless something has an immediate reaction that makes people think, oh, this might be bad for me, then I think that the urge to put the pedal to the metal is really strong.
Well, and if you're getting, and this is going to sound super hypocritical in a sense, because social media allowed us to do so many cool things and still allows us to have a company. But when you get jacked in 6 months and all of a sudden you throw all your shirts away and you're taking pictures on Instagram and you're getting instant validation with hard eyes, and you're getting instant validation by men or women in your DMs, and your follower count's screaming, we're evolved dogs, right? What's the bell? The drool bell experiment?
Pavlov's dog,
I'm a Pavlov with these followers, right? Yeah. I post a twerk, my followers go up, I twerk more. Like it is like that's how content creation works. That's how humans work. That's how sadly science works too, right? I do this, I get this result. That means this is good. Or if I like this result, and I'm gonna continue to do this. Right?
Yeah, and if you look through your recommends in Instagram, like nobody's wearing a shirt. You're not gonna find anybody that's wearing a shirt.
No, and so if you're
boobs, asses, and shirtless dudes.
So if you're in the fitness space, you're like, what do I need? I need boobs, asses, and shirtless dudes. And so I'm going to become one of those three,
right?
However I can. And when the follower goes up, and the truth is, you can make a lot of money, and you can have a lot of fun, and a lot of opportunities do open when you get followers on the internet. So it makes people want to do these things more. I guess the long story is I understand why these people do these things.
Yeah.
But man, can we have some self-awareness on health, on what we're promoting, some responsibility and dare I say it, integrity within the fitness space to how we trek this world.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. This was a thought that came to me in when I was first waking up the other day. Like, why not like healthy first? Why not healthy first?
Yeah,
because that's really what fitness is supposed to be, right? But that's not what a lot of people are currently doing.
When you're filing for like YouTube, maybe Instagram, businesses, Google business, there's never like a jacked gym. It's always I work in the health and fitness space.
Right.
That's the fucking category we're all in.
Yeah.
And no one's fit.
Yeah.
And no one's healthy.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect, but like I eat something green every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I drink water every single day. I do some type of movement. Sundays sometimes I take off, but I move my body in some nature every single day. Not because I want to go to the IFBB. I don't even want to compete powerlifting. I don't want any of this. I do want to look better for sure. Mm-hmm. I like to lift heavy. I want to get stronger for sure. But I again, I'm not fucking Simmons or something dancing around screaming health, health, health. But like
Richard, not
Louis. The rich, not the Lou. Yeah, for sure. And neither of them probably were either that healthy, poor Richard. But I'm not that guy. But it should be in the back of your head, right? Like if you like what you're doing as a bodybuilder or powerlifter or whatever, if you love this and you say you do, right? All these guys say, oh, I love bodybuilding. The iron pug pit me. I'm a meathead. I'm a gym rat. Well, then don't you want to do it longer?
Yeah,
because you can't do it long if you're doing it the way you're doing it.
Right. And I think that. I think it goes back to what I was saying before, that people don't have an appreciation for the long game. And
for sure not. And it's hard.
Yeah. And I think also they think, I'll just do this for a while and I'll get to this level and I'll accomplish whatever goals and then I'll back off to whatever.
Yeah.
And that they don't understand that the backing off part is really, really challenging. Because once you've been that big or that strong or that ripped or whatever, that popular, not being that popular anymore
100%.
Is a really tough pill to swallow.
But that's where, like, if you have self-awareness or at least try to practice some, whether it's therapy or meditation or just sit by yourself for a second.
Yeah.
No one even sits by their goddamn self for a second.
Yeah.
Know who you are. Know who you are not. Through this process, I'd imagine the exit's a little easier.
Yeah.
Right?
Potentially.
Then of course it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard it's hard to retire. It's hard to change hobbies. It's anything you break up with in life, from a friend to a lover to a house to a city to a job to any of it. It is like the killing off of a part of you.
Yeah.
It's hard. Any of that's hard. And I'm not going to say it's not. Like, yeah, your identity, but the more you tie your identity with your bicep size, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I'm Mike. I'm a son. I enjoy these things. I lift weights. I'm Mike, I power lift.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As soon as you go there, I'm Mike, I'm Republican. Yeah. As soon as we go there, as soon as something happens, it becomes 20 times harder to rip apart, because now my soul, my identity, me is that thing. And now I can't deadlift anymore. God forbid. But who knows, right? Who knows I go out there in we had a turkey in the parking lot. Maybe that thing bites my leg off. They're related to raptors. Maybe that happens, and I can't deadlift again. But if I'm Mike the deadlifter, I'm done.
Right.
My life is shattered.
And then you have to figure out how to be again.
Not only can I not deadlift because that's my identity, but now I have to figure out something new with my life because I got attacked by a modern-day raptor. And now what?
Yeah.
Right? Rather than, okay, I got attacked by a modern-day raptor, my leg is gone. How do I handle this?
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about this other part of me dying.
A couple of weeks ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine. You know, I mean, we live in an age where we have friends, but we've never met them in person. So
I don't have friends, but there's a lot of people I talk to I've never met in person.
If I didn't have friends like that, I probably wouldn't have friends at all.
No,
so that's
for sure.
just how it goes.
Yeah, we call them internet friends.
Yeah. And he's probably listening because he was a fan back in the day, and so was his dad, which is interesting. Anyway, though, he was complaining about, you know, a little bit of belly fat, a little bit, and he's lean. Yeah. You know, it just that happens to be where he accumulates a little bit of extra fat,
but not Instagram lean.
And he was like going on and on and on about what he was going to try to do to address that or whatever, and I was like, yeah, or you could just like figure out a way to be comfortable with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
Because like that little bit of love handle or whatever, that's not the deciding factor in how healthy you can be. And if you were losing sleep over it,
yeah, it's hard.
Then
but that's probably, you know, I don't know this guy and I don't mean to throw things out, but it's probably like a real problem. That's like eating disorder. We start to get there, right?
Dysmorphia. Yeah, and he posted something yesterday, the day before, or whatever about. He's like, okay, like basically he was like, I was told that I'm trying to train like a pro, but I'm not trying to be a pro.
Yeah, I don't care.
So I should figure out a way to be cool.
Yeah, it's hard. Obviously, it's much easier said than done.
Yeah, much easier. But when he was talking to me about this, I said back in the day when I was like undergrad, I had a buddy who was getting married. I had a bachelor party, had a bunch of friends over, different guys of different ages, whatever. And I had probably a half an hour conversation with a guy who probably in his late 30s, very early 40s, very good, like model good looking, you know, like that sort of rugged.
A hunk.
Yeah. And 25 minutes of that 30-minute conversation were about his fucking love handles and like where we needed to get liposuction or whatever. It's like, dude, you're like in the 99th percentile for looks in the whole fucking world, and you're worried about like a quarter inch of fat around your waistline. Like, let's just think about life for a minute in context.
Even if it is your job. So let's say this hunk in grad school was a model,
yeah.
or whatever. Like, what you're upset? Like, stop obsessing about that, and if it really bugs you, do something about it.
Yeah,
that's your job. But that's like me having a casual conversation and say like, man, my lockout on 635-pound deadlift is really keeping me up at night. You know, like, you like, what? Like, let's talk about something that, this is a whole nother topic. When you're communicating with a human, try to make the conversation interesting for both humans. Right?
Right.
And, back to the dysmorphia thing, like, even if you're getting paid for that, if you are a pro bodybuilder or whatever, like, talk to your coach and nutritionist about it, because they want the feedback. Don't talk to randoms about it. And then 2, if it is your job or profession, fucking fix it.
Yeah.
You know? Or even if it's your love of a hobby, fucking go lose your love handles, fatty. Like what are you talking to me about it? Like, go fix it. Right? Yeah. And same with the deadlift. If we're talking about deadlift or we're working out together, sure, we can talk about or if you and I are talking about our diet, hey, man, I've been fucking binging lately. I've been hammering cookies. I want to lose a few. Sure. And you want to talk about how you want to drink more water. Mm-hmm. Sure. That's a conversation to be had. But so many people just, mouth diarrhea? What's it called?
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're just spewing at you.
Verbal diarrhea.
Yeah, verbal diarrhea. Yeah, mouth diarrhea sounds a little too visually gross.
Yeah, that's a lot right there.
But, you know, they're just like coming, like, shut up, dude. Right? And we all have that issue. And I think it's been long talked about with magazines and pop culture and young women. Right? The expectations that they're rail thin and this and that. And this. But guys, let alone in the industry, but in general, what do you're growing up with Arnold on the TV and you're growing up with these bodybuilders, especially now, like, Instagram, everyone's watching it. Everyone's watching TikTok, and everyone's fucking shredded. but very few genetically can even be there. I think less than 1% of the world even has abs year round.
Mm-hmm.
2, like 15% body fat for most gentlemen is very healthy, and you look pretty athletic. But if you're on Instagram, like those guys are diced. And so what do you think? You're going to think you're fat.
Right.
Because everyone else is 10%.
Yeah, and
on drugs and not happy and not eating much.
And the camera adds weight.
Yeah, and they can't get boners in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's one of those, back when we had Eric Helms on a while ago, he was talking about that fact. Like you get down and you know, to that level of leanness and...
Yeah, good luck. You're grumpy.
Unrelated to that, but related to that.
Morning boners?
Last week, I think it was last week, I saw in my Reddit feed, someone was like, yeah, guy at my gym says he's natty. What are you guys thinking? It's an Instagram picture of Alberto Nunez.
Alberto just posted something the other day. Shout out Alberto Nunez, Eric Helms, all the guys at 3DMJ. If you guys are ever looking for really high-quality coaches in the physique world or powerlifting world, highly recommend them. Old friends of ours. Alberto posted something. He's like, the one time I was like famous and ESPN or SportsCenter ran an ad and used him being shredded. But it was ESPN, but it wasn't. And then it was some company about like a fat loss or muscle gain pill. And it's him when he's veiny out of his fucking mind. He's like, the one time I was on ESPN or something. I was like,
holy crap.
Because some of his pictures are insane. Yeah, he gets so shredded.
Yeah, he has genetics that most of us don't have access to.
And discipline beyond the world. And he's done it for 15 years. And he's 20. And he's so dialed into competitive bodybuilding.
Yeah.
On that same note, back to our TMZ, there's I recently heard and found out an Olympia winner, not going to name names here, take your guesses, fam, went publicly on his Instagram in like a Q&A or something, and I believe he won Classic Physique, or maybe, what are they now? I think it's Classic Physique. And he's won the Olympia within the last, like, let's say 8 years, to narrow in our shit talk, and said he's natty. Didn't say like, I'm like, dude, it's so easy to say, again, talking about the transparency, because I don't like to talk shit with a problem and not have an answer.
Yeah.
Right? If I say you're all suck and you're not funny, I'm going to teach you how to be funny. If I think you suck at deadlifting, I'm not going to say, haha, you're fucking weak. I'm going to teach you how to deadlift. And so here's my example with this. With everyone claiming not to be natty or do that, it's as simple as when someone asks you if you're on shit, and I'm in the IFB fucking B, I just say, yeah, PEDs tend to be a part of the sport.
And then just leave it at that.
Right?
Let everybody draw their own
How hard is that?
It's not that hard.
I'm not lying.
Right.
I'm basically telling you if you're above the age of 8, you understand what I'm insinuating. And I don't have to tell you like, yeah, bro, I got fucking jacked on trend. Like I don't have to promote it either.
Yeah, exactly. You're not saying I have a tackle box full of steroids or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not promoting it. I'm not lying to you.
Yeah.
Just why can't we say that? Yeah, it's a part of the sport.
Yeah.
It's so easy. But this guy goes live, and he's got millions of fans, and everyone wants to fucking look like him because he's Mr. Olympia. And he says, yeah, I've never taken a steroid in my life.
And you're like, huh.
Like, why would you do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Because then now every word that comes out of your fucking mouth is a lie.
Yeah, everything is suspect from that point forward.
And we're all prone to lying or wiggling the truth. That's human nature. I get it. I don't believe in lying, but, you know, it's hard to be completely transparent. But that's just flat out U-turn lie when you probably had a needle in your butt yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't even have to be steroids, too, because it can be like, I don't eat carbs. It's
right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
You do eat carbs.
Yeah, you're a fucking binger. I saw you at the buffet.
Yeah. Like, I am enough in your life to know that you eat carbs, so whatever you're saying is bullshit. You know?
Everyone. I don't know, man. I don't know. And that's my long rant, and I hope people get educated. And then counter to that, you know, I'm not anti-steroids. I wish we would study them harder so we could figure out proper doses and at least give people directions on proper doses so we don't lose all these people to heart attacks and kidney issues and liver issues and your organs get wrecked and everyone's fucking sick and everyone's fucking dying in the health industry.
Yeah.
What we looking like the epitome of health and being the epitome of health look so different.
Very different, yeah.
And it goes on the opposite spectrum too. Like people that are running marathons and thousands of those people have heart attacks left and right as well. They're not healthy. They don't have an ounce of muscle on their body. You know, they could have just as many issues as these pro bodybuilders.
Yeah, it's when you're taking something to an extreme. Right. You really, it has to be for a particular time period, and you have to be able to, like we were saying before, back out of it. And I was listening. I think I may have mentioned this in the last episode, but I'm listening to this book, the Messy Middle. It talks about different organizations and in their middle years when you get past the
not sexy stuff.
Yeah, when you get past the very beginning, the part that's exciting, the honeymoon period of owning a business,
and you're not on top.
One of the things I talk about is that if you're going to create a competitive advantage, you have to like be working angles that other people are not working and be willing to do things that other people are not willing to do in that time. And I think that's what happened to bodybuilding.
Sure. And I don't want to say all this stuff either that I think like everyone should aim to be average.
Right.
I like bodybuilding, and I like extreme powerlifting, and I like extreme marathon. I think it's cool to display what you're good at, put the work ethic in, and try to be the best. But there's got to be balance from death. Like the spectrum doesn't go, I'm the best, and then death.
Right.
Like there's room here, you know?
Yeah.
And why aren't we looking at these things, and why aren't we more analytical? And maybe some of it is fluke, and maybe some of it's genetic. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor, and no one knows, right? Because we don't know what these people are taking, what compounds are throwing in, or where the compounds are from, or what's going on. But I think also for every 1% we lose at the very top IFBB, I know there's bodybuilders that haven't made the pro stage that are probably dying as well, right? Like that.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah.
They're not going to be on TMZ when you're the local big guy that passes away at 35.
Who hit the gas hard but never really competed,
or was trying to, or didn't get there,
always chasing the dream, never coming close to actually doing what you would have to do to compete to fulfill it.
Yeah, whether they have the genetics or didn't put the time in, or just maybe they're on the edge of becoming an IFBB. Maybe you're, for all I know, a 25-year-old just hopped on, passes away, and could have done it, but like we don't hear those stories.
Yeah,
but you assume they're happening everywhere. If everyone's taking this similar path to get there.
And I think if you're looking for a non-bodybuilding but cautionary tale, look no further than Pete Rubish.
Yeah.
Who
Pete talks a lot about it.
He does. He actually shares his results. He's trying to right now like recover his hormone levels. He wants to have a kid at some. I
think Garrett Fears talked about it a little bit. Some of his usage and non-usage, and all this is anecdotal, right? Because again, like steroids are weirdly illegal. I think they should probably be illegal and regulated, but not
the way they
class
are.
4 or whatever the hell's going on.
Class 3,
yeah.
Like they're not. It's not heroin.
Yeah. The addictiveness and all that's probably more psychological than physical. Although I'm sure there's some physical issues, but I just wish we could study it more. I wish there was maybe more transparent conversations happening rather than promotional conversations or because the anti doesn't help either. No. Steroid bad, you cheater. That doesn't help anyone or anything.
No.
And so I don't know the fix. I'm trying, but it's just week after week it's happening.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Yeah, it's not been long since the last one. I couldn't even tell you who that was, but
Boston Lloyd was another big one. Dallas McCarver was another big one.
Both those.
Is it Sean Roden? I don't want to misspeak. Someone passed last year, a big name. I don't know, man. Flex? I don't even know anymore. There were so many for a second. He was in the hospital forever.
Yeah, no, I think he's. This is frightening. People are.
I know, my bad. We can edit it away.
We have to cut this out.
Yeah.
Because we at this moment don't want to talk about. I think I just saw. You're talking about Flex Wheeler, yes?
Yeah.
Not Flex Lewis. I know that Flex Lewis is fine. I think Flex Wheeler.
Yeah, Sean Roden, 2021 November.
So that's
huge name.
6 months.
Yeah.
Within 6 months.
Yeah, Flex was in the hospital forever.
Yeah.
But Sean Roden is a big name that passed away this November, right? I mean, 2021 is fucking 2 months ago, kind of. Even though this world is moving quick.
It's April now, but it's within 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, Boston Lloyd. That's my list. I don't know. That's all that's been on my stupid brain all day.
Probably none of them would talk about it to us, but I want to know how scared the rest of them are, because you think they should be.
Yeah, but I don't know, right? Yeah.
Is it magical thinking it can't happen to me?
I think some of that comes with maturity and self-awareness. So I'd imagine if you're going to extremes in anything in your life, those probably aren't there, right? Like everyone's like, oh, my buddy, I know a guy that did this, but that's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like even a car accident type shit. And we're all guilty. You and I probably are. We all know someone that got in a real bad car accident and got fucked up, whatever.
Motorcycles worse.
Yeah, for sure. But even cars. Well, I was bringing up cars because you and I still
we still drive,
and we don't think about it.
Yeah. I think about it a little bit. I think about it more now than I used to.
But even still, and some of that's, I think, human nature safety, right? Because if you were so fearful of everything bad we've ever happened, we would not move. We'd be paralyzed, right? I'm like, well, I'm never getting in a car. Like, that's not healthy psychologically either. So part of the human psyche is probably built to overcome or hide some of those in our brain. Otherwise, we're never getting in an airplane. We're never going to get near I mean, I got fucking mauled by a dog as a kid.
Right.
They thought they were going to rip my face off. 24 stitches in a 10-year-old's face all over, bit me 3 times or twice. Then I would never pet a dog again.
Yeah.
Right? It's good that my psyche kind of forgets that mostly.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe they're at that level.
Seabass has a little house slipper of a dog here.
Yeah, scared shitless of it. I am no joke. I'm not scared of it by any means. He's got a little corgi, cute as shit chance, but like those things are going to bite me way more than a big dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very
Fuck
likely.
little dogs.
Yeah.
I went to the dog pound the other day, and it's still going crazy. Like the COVID thing.
Oh yeah, everyone's.
Dude, me and my mom found a cute dog at like 10 a.m. We rushed to the pound to go get it. Gone. They're like, yeah, someone adopted it an hour ago. I was like, I know I don't have a job, but why don't they have jobs where they have to work 9 to 5? Like I sprinted here on a Friday at like 3, and I can't get this stupid dog.
That's bad.
I know it sucked.
Yeah, talking about the ongoing effects of the pandemic. I just went to Austin. And just flew there. And I know you've been on a plane a little bit lately, going to L.A. And we went to Canada and New York in December, January, whatever. And it seemed like people were kind of back in the groove of travel. And, you know, everyone was cool to the extent possible. But we get on the plane last Thursday here in Sacramento. And I think it's because we were primarily in airports that people kept traveling. You know what I mean?
Like big
travel,
ones. Yeah, New York, the business guys that had to move.
Yeah, right. People who traveled through the pandemic. And we're getting on the plane to basically go to Burbank, which is probably where you're flying for Barbell. And people did not seem to know what the fuck to do anymore.
Yeah.
It took 20 minutes longer to load the plane than any time I've ever been on a Southwest flight.
To there to play devil's advocate, and it probably had nothing to do with loading the plane, but TSA isn't like standardized.
No, that's absolutely true.
I hate that.
I'm not real happy with
one
that either,
dude's, I don't know where, I think it was LAX this time, and dude's screaming at me that I didn't put my carry-on, it's like a luggage, it's not a bag, in a bucket.
And they don't require that everywhere.
Yeah, most places you just yeet the bag through and you throw your hats and your phones and your shit in a bucket, backpack even.
Right.
This is a big old luggage thing, and he's screaming at me. I'm like, bro, like I was on an airplane 10 minutes ago, and they didn't tell me to do that, and now you're screaming at me. Just relax. I'll do it. I'm not trying to argue. I didn't argue anything. I just didn't do it.
I had a TSA guy scream at me in New York at LaGuardia in like 2004 because I didn't take my hat off.
Right, and you're like, man,
like,
this thing's cloth.
I've been wearing this fucking hat in every airport that I've been in.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Or some yell at you about hoodies, some don't.
Yeah.
And then they look at me stupid when I ask. I say, hey, do I have to take the hoodie off? And the guy's like, no. And I'm like, well, the other guy made me take the hoodie off.
Yeah.
Don't yell at me like I'm an idiot.
All of you need to sit down and have a meeting with each other and like kind of standardize your shit.
Because they're supposed to be the same, right? It's not Sacramento.
Yeah.
It's fucking federal shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that confuses me.
But this was people actually getting on the plane.
Yeah, just walking like idiots, not knowing where their seat is or whatever.
Or well, you know, Southwest, just grab a fucking seat. And then the overhead bin, right?
Always a mess.
Yeah. So you need to step into the thing and then put your thing up. Unless, of course, you have to, you know, put it on. And then
or just be quick, man.
Back. But
whip that thing in there,
But be quick about it, for Christ's sake.
That's one thing I think people are just so unaware of, like, life. Like, same thing downtown Sac. Like, you obviously drive here a ton now that you live here, and you live in a close-ish suburb that's quietish. But living down here, people don't even look before they cross a road.
No.
Car or person or bike, they don't even fucking look, dude.
Yeah.
Like they're going to walk into... I'm not going to hit them. They're going to hit my car. Like, a pedestrian's going to knee the side of my door. I'm like, dude, you didn't even see me?
Yeah, for sure.
People are just stupid. You're all stupid. Not you guys listening, but everyone you know is probably stupid.
So when you get on a plane, do you aisle seat, window seat?
I'm actually a window guy.
Really?
Despite my size. I mean, I'm a first class guy, but that happens one every 30 trips.
Yeah.
That's the only way I'm going to fly fucking international, I've decided. I haven't gone overseas I mean Canada, but that don't count. I haven't gone overseas besides that in like 15 years. And I'm never doing it again unless it's fucking... I'm in a pod. I want you to be able to freeze me like fucking Han Solo and wake my ass up when I get there.
That's very expensive. I don't know. I mean, like I'm
first class or the freezing process?
I think probably both. I would imagine both of those are very expensive.
Be able to. I heard they found a frozen dinosaur. Not to fucking way off the rails here, but we talk steroids and death, so now my brain's got to release. They found a dinosaur that was basically frozen like that.
They found
like skin and shit.
Yeah,
right?
They found one that was intact. Yeah,
that's crazy.
They, not frozen, but they think it was actually covered in ash at the point that the extinction event when the
Ice Age
meteor,
with Ray Romano,
when the big meteor hit the Gulf of Mexico over, and it
billion
just,
years ago.
Yeah, like everything got very cold.
But he's like there,
quickly.
like DNA. And they're about to make them.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what they said. Fucking idiots.
Yeah,
they
did not see Jurassic Park.
That's the internet going nuts.
We're going on like 6 or 7 fucking Jurassic Park films.
Yeah, there's a new one coming. New one coming.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know. Were people grumpy when you were flying? That's what I found. Because I didn't fly a lot COVID because we were so busy here. But I flew a little bit there and then much more recently. And I find that people are just fucking... People are always assholes, but they're extra edgy.
This wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
it was maybe a little bit more in January and December because COVID numbers were super high.
Yeah, and holidays. People do...
Holidays for sure.
They're just grumpy.
But I'm an aisle sitter because I get it. Get up and go to the bathroom or whatever, and I am not the broadest shouldered guy in the world, but I'm
you're
also
not the smallest.
I'm not the smallest either. And this trip, 4 flights to go to Austin, here to Burbank to Austin, Austin to Burbank back.
Yeah.
So in the whole trip, I maybe gotten bumped, which is one of those things that happens.
That's why I like the window,
the shoulder bump, probably 2 or 3 times, and then Monday when I'm flying home. Fucking 6 times, and a couple of them were on the first flight, and then the second flight, the Burbank to Sacramento,
which is a 40-minute flight, like
chunky flight attendant.
Yeah, the flight attendant's the rough part,
carrying a tray, and just like what the fuck, lady? I mean,
I don't know why, and I get the money, right? Like. They're trying to shove as many people as they can on a plane, but like, can't we just get a little bit of room? So the window, regardless, you always have like 2 inches extra space.
A little bit,
right? So like, I'm shoving my shoulder in the little window cell and just fucking cramped up. Going to LA, sometimes Southwest, sometimes whatever's cheapest, and sometimes that is like a Delta or something. But yeah, I'm always middle because I'm not the check-in early guy. I'm just like it's a 40-minute flight. I'll figure it the fuck out. I'm always in the middle, and the only way you choose that one is I'm scouting like I'm a fucking quarterback in the fourth quarter. All my reads, walking down the hall. I'm walking down the middle, reading everything I can. I'm trying to find 2 smallish ladies because I know I'm stuck with the middle seat. I'm fucking C, 69, and you find in the ladies, and I'm just going in there so I don't have to be next to 2 large men.
Okay, so I'm just the opposite of that. I want to
because you like an aisle.
I like an aisle, and I want to get in as quickly as possible and get out as quickly as possible. And I'm offended if for some reason I get a C or even a B. Yeah. I'm upset by a B.
If I'm going to Texas on Southwest, like I went to Florida, that was Southwest. I checked in right away. I needed the A because I mean, if over an hour flight, I start to get pretty antsy. An hour flight, I can kind of do whatever I got to do.
So getting on the plane in Austin,
which is a pretty dope airport.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
They got some good food and shit.
Yeah, they have a lot of good food. Not a lot of bookstores there for some reason. Anyway,
big readers. Maybe the college. Who knows?
I don't know. Anyway, so this is not a full flight, and they've said this is not a full flight.
That's like a bit. That's like one of the few joys in my life when I hear that.
Yeah,
not a lot of things make me happy anymore. That makes me pretty happy.
So I'm in an aisle seat. I got 2 seats next to me empty, and I'm hoping that they're going to stay that way, or at the very least that there's going to be an open middle.
Sure. There should
everybody likes an open middle, right? So what happens? This couple comes in, and they want to sit in these seats.
If you're not in 8th grade, and it's your first kiss, just sit somewhere else for now.
Just or you go further back. You can sit together. You can do. You can fucking pitch a tent back there. For all
you find the Mile High in the back. Not,
right.
Yeah.
But so stranger yet. Okay, this is a male-female couple. I did not specify that.
Okay.
Dude sits
What's
next
the middle?
to me.
Just cause
Sits next to me.
he's blocking you. Maybe it was the alpha male challenge.
It's like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, unless she's, Fiona from Shrek and she's got some shoulders on her. Maybe she's the smallest and she could sit in the middle logically.
And so if you're a guy who's sitting on the aisle and there's a guy in the middle, then you have to lean out.
Yeah.
That's not the one that I got bumped as many times.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I got
it's a space
bumped
issue.
a couple times, but not nearly the way I did. But dude, I thought that she wanted to sit by the window so she could look out the window, but she closed the fucking blind shade.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think people think. I don't know. I'm always trying to get the most space. That's my only thought process on a plane.
Dude goes to sleep,
Nice.
right? And I realize he's sleeping closer to me than my wife sleeps in bed to me.
Yeah, maybe
I don't want to touch anybody when I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
and I don't want anybody who's sleeping to touch me.
And some people just I don't think you can control it, obviously. But if you know you're a weird sleeper, don't fall asleep, bitch. Yeah. I know I'm a steady sleeper, so I can sleep head back and my arms on my tummy like an old man, and I ain't moving,
Yeah.
So then I'll take a nap on a plane. But if you know you're a tosser-turner, drooler, snorer, move your head to the side, or I need to lean on somebody, that's happened to me only once. But it's always, right, like a dude falls asleep in his shoulder, or even I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah.
I don't know you. Get your head off my shoulder.
Yeah.
That's happened to me. If you know you're that person, don't fall asleep. It should be a rule.
Yeah.
Maybe a law.
I agree.
Maybe you owe me dinner.
Yeah. Or, drink coupons when they
drink ticket would be plenty.
Yeah. I don't drink on planes mostly just because I kind of feel worse.
Only when you're going to Vegas.
Yeah, it's kind of
the warm up.
Probably worth it then.
Yeah, the warm up.
Probably worth it then. But anyway, flew down to Austin. Austin's fine. Everybody said I would love Austin. I liked Austin, but I think that if you live in someplace like Sacramento or Kansas City or Portland or Seattle,
LA even,
LA,
San Diego.
Yeah, you've been places that had cool stuff, and it's not your eyes are not as wide.
Yeah,
but it is.
Yeah, it's not Tokyo.
No,
it's not a different world. No. But it's a cool city of America.
Now, however, when they say that it is the live music capital of the world, it probably is. There was a live band playing in the airport.
Yeah, it's cool. That's why I want to go to Nashville. Live music, and I know it's not going to be Mars and whatever compared to Austin and whatever, but there's cool places.
Been to Nashville, it was fine.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I'm not going to go visit fucking sorry boys, southeastern Western Dakota, right? Like those guys. Shout out to our boys in Massonomics. They go to Austin. And they're
like, wow,
they're in a new goddamn world. Woo-hoo. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm from civilization. No offense, love you boys.
I'm gonna hear from Tanner when about this.
Yeah. But then it's
I think that in
they have to know.
Yeah.
They bought a billboard. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
No one in Austin's but actually fuck, dude. Max Tuning bought a billboard in Houston too. I was gonna say that's like not a affordable city thing, but
apparently
Max is doing it.
Apparently.
I think he bought it for his dog.
Dude.
Like a joke, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Don't have the funds or energy for it, but cool.
And you can't get a dog because apparently everybody.
You can't in California. I wonder if that's a California thing.
Maybe
we do have a shit ton of folks.
Maybe you need to go somewhere else.
I've tried. I look in Nevada and stuff because some people will let you go pick it up.
Yeah.
Or some will ship them to you.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be scared by that. The dog would be so freaked out by the time you got it.
I'm used to crazy. My dog was on Xanax for 2 years.
Oh.
I can handle crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladies.
Yeah, for anyone who's looking.
Yeah. You're on Xanax? Perfect. Out of your fucking mind? Love it. Love a challenge.
I cannot prove this, but I feel like Austin, with all the live music, you could probably hire a band to come play at your colonoscopy. In Austin.
There's probably gigs just waiting to happen.
Yeah, we saw this guy who is 81 years old, had to get to the stage with a walker, but he was Johnny Cash's pianist for 20 years.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty sick, yeah.
Do you play that style of music?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Americana
cool.
stuff.
Folky.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I love live music, man.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, we saw this other group like at this like little deli thing. There was a few blocks from the Airbnb that we had.
Yeah, they're just jamming.
They were older. They'd been singing together since 1993. It was 3 women vocalists and like a couple of dudes playing bass and guitar, and sometimes one of the chicks would play drums. But they were singing that sort of close 3-part harmony, you know?
Yeah.
And not using in-ear monitors or anything like that. I mean, that's
still pretty good.
Yeah, actually very, very good. It's like they've been together forever, so I suppose that has something to do with it. But people don't try that now.
No. Well, because that's why the term is like, there's famous artists now. There's not a lot of famous musicians now.
Yeah.
Right? Because like the skill level to become famous, there's different aspects than your vocal talent.
The Everly Brothers and the Bee Gees sang into the same microphone because they were super close to each other, so they could hear each other and match their harmonies.
But they're more musician-y than they probably wrote a lot of their music.
Yeah,
it's a little different now.
Yeah, I think
rappers don't even write their own lines. Okay. Then your one thing is to be a rapper, right? Like you have one gig.
And you can just you sound copy. just copy. So the Airbnb that we had was a real question mark too. Like, I don't know how long people are going to be able to continue to live in Austin, because the house is like, 2-bedroom, 1-bath with a shed in the back that's been turned into an Airbnb, and you look it up on Zillow and it's like 9 something.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the comparisons come from. Sacramento was that like it's a cool city, a lot of culture built around university there, built around the Capitol here. Mm-hmm. But neither of them were made to expand as fast or as well as they have, and then the planning around that wasn't great. I do think Sacramento, I think we can catch it, although our traffic's not great because we have 2 freeways and shit.
Yeah.
But I think
2 rivers and
that we things don't really to get in the way.
Of, and
But I think slowly we've done it a hair slower. So our suburbs are planned pretty decently. The expansion of downtown's planning pretty decently. So I think it'll be okay. Where they're just fucked everywhere. Yeah, it's clogged.
Yeah, just crazy. This Airbnb did not actually have a kitchen. I mean, the kitchen was part of the shed that wasn't insulated at all. There's no table to sit at all. Yeah. I mean, it was...
I hate Airbnb. I've told many a story there. Yeah, it's not my gig.
I generally have a good experience, but it's like, this was just like... It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. The sofa was one of the only places to sit in the whole thing, and it's one of those like futon sofa IKEA things that you sit in it, and like I'm not a skinny man, but I'm also not that fat. Yeah. And the whole front of it is like,
that's the worst feeling ever. Where you're balancing or pushing yourself back onto it. Yeah,
exactly.
I hate that. That's what I was worried about. Jim decorated the whole new set and built the whole thing out and shows everything. And he showed me the chairs. I was like, yeah. And I was like, I hope these things don't push me forward. I'll kill myself. That's like the only thing I care about. Honestly. Yeah. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
Couches, like my couch at home, I literally bought it because it's fucking like 8 feet deep. Like my feet are up in the air like a kid. I love that. At least you're not sliding around, like I would way rather just be able to sit than be like, you literally feel like you're on a slope.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I hated that too. And my wife got sick while we were there, and so Sunday we didn't do anything, and I'm sitting on that
couch,
that stupid couch.
Yuck.
It was not fun.
Yuck.
Oh well. I think we should just tie this one off here. We got
a couple guests on the way.
Yep.
A couple movies on the way.
Yep.
I might have been wrong. I could have sworn there's a Tiger Woods documentary going on.
I don't know.
And Dean, our co-host with a lot of the movie stuff, seemed to not think so. And he normally knows a lot better than me, but I swear someone talked about it. There's definitely a Tony Hawk one we're going to cover. Probably cover Kurt Warner. And then someone was supposed to hit me on Instagram, but they didn't. It sounds like there's a body dysmorphia thing. It sounds older, but it's like a documentary. I forgot what it was called. But it sounds like a bodybuilding-ish one that I've never heard of.
Interesting.
Yeah. And someone brought it up like, hey, have you watched that? I was like, no, but tell me and we'll cover it. And so if you're listening, tell me and we'll cover it. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, 3sb.co. Americana's still up. We got some new droppies, which you guys are asking me all over Instagram, very, very soon. So stay tuned, 3sb.co. Head over to 50percentfacts.com for all platforms if you want to listen to the podcast. Ratings, review do help, but also join the Discord. We're probably going to be doing some giveaways there. I don't know if we had a meeting, but we didn't talk about it. I got like a little partnership I'm working on, and it might be partnered with the podcast. It might not be, but either way, we're going to do giveaways for that. I know that just sounded so vague and doesn't get you excited, but trust me, it's dope. If you head to Discord, we're going to do some giveaways there for that. Giveaways for 3SB as always. Exclusives there, early access on all the apparel. So, yeah, join that Discord, 50percentfacts.com to get there. I'm Silent Mike everywhere you want to find me.
Could it be Ugly Me, My Life with Body Dysmorphia?
No, it was like body. It was like
Looks That Kill was a TV movie from it.
No, it's more of like a meathead title, like a body, epic bodies or something. I don't know what the fuck it was.
All right, we'll keep.
I was cooking, and doing an Instagram live, and someone spit it out there, so I was paying half-assed attention.
Seeing myself as ugly. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Sounds like my autobiography.
I am at the Jim McD on all the social media. This show 50% facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. And we'll be back at you on Friday with a shorty. And next week's guest is Tony Gentlecore, somebody I've known forever, like 5 evers, but never had him on a podcast. So we'll talk to you Friday and next Wednesday.